Welcome back. We are going to continue our treatment of VI. Now I want to go through just an overview of the commands, how they are grouped. Um, Before we talked about getting into input mode, getting out of command mode, and I said that there are many ways of getting into input mode. And let's go down the list. Lowercase I means insert characters where the cursor currently is. Uppercase I also means insert, but it says start the insertion at the beginning of a line. We can also get into input mode by appending. And the command for appending is A and capital A. A means append right immediately to the right of the cursor. Capital A means append to the end of the line. R is another command. There's a lowercase r and uppercase r. Uppercase r actually allows you to overtype what's already there. So it puts you into input mode and you can overtype existing characters without having to delete them first. The O will open a new line. Uppercase O will open a line above where you are. Lowercase o will open a line below where you are. And then you have S and capital S. S replaces a single character with new text. So it's like R, but it only replaces one character. You can take one character and expand that into anything. And S replaces an entire line. The most common of these commands that you will be using is, of course, I, append, capital R for replace, O, and S. Those are and O. I seldom use S. Let's go down to other commands. While you are in command mode, you can move around in the file a whole lot of ways. Don't want to confuse you. So let's talk about the places where you want to go. Well, we can move horizontally by hitting the space bar. Of course, you can do direction arrows, but you can also hit keys that take you places. Remember that VI was created before you had a mouse. So the keys H, L, K, and J allow you to move up, down, left, and right. And sometimes that's just easier because sometimes it retains. For example, if I do a J, it goes down, and it goes down to the same column position where I happen to be. It does not go to the beginning of the line below. It just goes down one line below, keeps the same column. All right. Now we can also move around in the file based on the content of the file. We can use these commands. W means move to the next word. And a word is anything that is preceded by a space or by white space. All right? And a lot of these commands can be magnified by telling a number, a repetition factor. W by itself means one word. 3W means 3 words. Go to the third word from where we are. I can go forward with W. B as in back. I can go back a word or multiple words. I can go to the end of the current word. That's E, end of the word. Now, in terms of moving around in the file, I can go to the very end of the file by typing the command capital G. I can go to the beginning of the file by saying 0G. I can move the cursor to a particular line in the file. 2 ways. I can either say colon and give a line number, and this is the same as Control W, Control T that you do in Pico to go to a specific line. I think colon 15 is a little quicker than those 2 commands. And we can go to the end of the current line by the dollar sign. The dollar sign really means end of the current line. I can type 0 and it means go to the beginning of the current line. The caret means go to the first non-blank character in a line. So if you have lines that begin with spaces, it goes to the first non-blank character in the line. There's also the concept of blocks of text. So I can go to the end of the current block of text, which is called a paragraph. And paragraphs are separated by blank lines. And so I can go to the end or I can go to the beginning. If I want to know what line number I'm on, this is probably one of the few control commands in VI. I can say Control G. It will tell me which line I'm on currently. All right, we're going to illustrate many of these commands by going to our file again. So let's go back to our file W. And which of these commands do we want to look at? All right, we're going to play around a little bit. All right, first of all, we're going to do an I, and I says start typing. Whatever I put in goes to the right of the cursor. I want to get out. I want to append to the end of the line. What's the command? A for append. Lowercase a says append after the cursor. Oops. After first letter. But what if we want to append to the end of the line? Well, we're in input mode now, so what must we do? Must get out. How do you get out? Escape. I want to append to the end of the line. How can I do it? How many say there are two ways? I can do a capital A, or I can go to the end of the line. How do you go to the end of the line? $ means end of the line. And I can say insert once I get to the end of the line by $. I can get out. Let's go down here. I want to append to this line by adding word 5. How do you do that? The other way is capital A goes to the end of the line, word 5. All right. We also said that you can create new lines by O. Open a new line. I'm going to do capital O. See what happens. And that puts me above. I'm going to do lowercase o. That means open a line below. All right. And now let's go up here. Now let's go to the line above, the word above. And we can move around in the file. I can use up arrow, down arrow, or I can use some of these magic keys over here. So I can say K takes me up. K, up, up, up. I want to go to the first character in this line. What's the first non-blank character? That's the caret. And I want to replace what's there. So I'm going to say ha, ha, ha. That's the replacement. Notice that I am in input mode. I'm done, so I have to get out of input mode, and that's an escape. All right. And I think we've done most of these. Now let's, excuse me, let's move around in the file word by word. I hit W, it moves to the next word. What if I want to skip 2 words? I can say 2W, okay? What if I want to go back where I was? I'm moving forward. With W, I'm moving forward by words. I can move back, so I can say 2 back, and it gets me back here. I can go to the end of this word that I'm in, E, end of the word. And I can see what line I'm on. Line numbers generally are related to the symbol capital G. Control capital G says I'm on line 2. If I say capital G by itself, it means go to the last line. If I want to go to the first line, what do I have to say? 0, go. Whoa, whoa. work, huh? So how do I go to the first line? I can either say :1. That takes me to the first line. Last thing we're going to do is put some paragraphs in here. So we're going to put some lines here, some lines here, and some lines here. And let's see what we're going to do. We're going to do go to the next section. That means go past this section. This section is terminated by some blank lines here. So let's say next section. That means the block symbol. So we say go to the next section, go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one. Okay? So we can move that way. All right, I think with that we're going to end, and I think you get the hang of the things that are possible. Now, next video we're going to talk about powerful stuff. This is just kind of how to survive. So how do we exit this file? I'm going to show you a different way. This time I'm going to exit by saving this file with a new name. So that W, lowercase w, means write the file, and we'll call it my first. Okay? And with that, we got to exit. W, writing the file does not exit, so now we can quit. Control Q.